What up, y'all? So we're hitting y'all this week with not one, but 2 episodes. So thank you so much for tuning in into Only a Matter of Time. Your boy Miel
and Tao.
So today we want to just bring you a special episode, and because I know we talked about this topic quite a bit on our show a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now it's gaining a lot of traction.
Yes.
I've been hearing a
Yes.
lot of
People are
more
catching
about
on.
it. People are catching on
Yeah.
to the health benefits, and not just that, but I feel like with even with like me mentally and spiritually,
Yes.
it's helped me so much. And what I'm talking about is I'm talking about fasting.
Yes.
So we wanted to share both our experiences with fasting.
Because fasting is not only spiritual.
It is.
I mean, like, because you learn. I know the first time I heard about fasting was that we all went to church, and was like, oh, okay, it's for spiritual stuff, benefits, but not.
Yeah,
it's not only for spiritual.
Yeah, like, for example, I know like in the Christian church.
Yes.
People fast if they want something to happen, something to bring for it to come into fruition. I'm gonna fast and I'm gonna pray.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Fast and pray.
Yeah.
Spiritual, like the spiritual
part
of it.
Yeah.
And even monks too, they would fast. They'll fast for weeks, dog. They'll fast for long periods of time. With G.
And they still eat grass and stuff like that. And rice.
Yeah. So now that it's gaining more traction, I've been listening to a lot more podcasts when it comes to fasting, and the health benefits. Like one of the things about fasting for me and I've experienced is like a higher level of energy.
Right. And the kind of fasting that we're talking about is, or that we've been doing, is intermittent.
Intermittent, yeah.
That word I always say intermittent. It's fasting.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of fasting that we're talking about, that we've been doing, and it's been beneficial for us.
Yeah. So there's people that do longer periods of fasting.
Yes.
They go days. They'll be like 2-3 days, 5 days. If you plan to do a fast for a long period of time, I would highly recommend you do it under medical supervision.
Yes.
Because they have to monitor you, because obviously your blood sugar level will drop. You have to make sure you're drinking enough water. You have to make sure your intake of certain vitamins and your electrolytes. Like I'm saying, it can get complex when you
like very medical.
Exactly. if you get to the point where you want to do it for long periods of time.
Yes.
And there's actually centers where you could what's it called? What do you call it?
Centers.
The word where you can basically go
and they can monitor you
while you do your fasting.
Centers, like fasting centers.
Yeah, the fasting center, exactly. Which to be honest,
we don't got time for all
that. That's way too fucking cheap.
We got a life.
Like I'll do like any longest fast I've done so far is 42 hours.
Yeah.
I'll do 24 hours, 36 hours,
right,
or like 42 hours.
And so
I'll do like maybe once a week, or
So really, like what intermittent fasting is. So you have 24 hours in a day. Right?
Yeah.
And so what we do, and what you want to start off with, is where you break it up, where you fast. And normally, like what I do is, or what kind of do we do it kind of differently. Is where we have your last meal. Say you have your last meal at 7 or 6. We'll say 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right. And then most of the people want to start, and when they start with what, 16:8.
They do a 16:8, and that's the one I highly recommend you do
to start
off with.
Yes.
If you wanna start off doing intermittent fasting, and kind of just to get the bearings going, get your wheels going.
Yeah.
Do a 16:8. The 16:8 isn't too hard to do.
No.
It's
because if you do if 8 of that you're sleeping, it's easy, right? Because if you have your last meal at 5 or 5 or 6 or whatever, and then it's basically you're almost bedtime, so you're sleeping technically for 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
So that's already 12. So basically, it's easier because it's like, okay, cool. If I have my dinner, I don't have to eat until maybe the next afternoon, right?
Yeah.
So that's why breaking it down that way is a good way to start, and that's how I started, and so. I think that's how we both started, right?
The 16:8, that's how I started too. I started doing the 16:8, and once I got the 16:8, I was like, I'm gonna fucking challenge myself for more. And so now, like for me, my normal is like 20, 21, 22. So
Crazy.
like, I usually only have like a between a 3
But
to 4
when do you eat
windows.
though? Yeah, tell me
So
your
like,
window
so
video.
my-
We call them windows. Like
Windows,
they call them
yeah,
windows.
windows
for
where
fasting
you eat.
windows, yeah.
So you like for that one you have an 8-hour window. The 16-8, so 16 hours of fasting, and then you have an 8-hour window where you can eat.
Yes.
So for me, right now, I go between a 20 to 21 hour fast. So I actually just did a 21-hour fast today. I ended it at 8:40. 8:40. So I started at what time did I start? I think I started at 11:40 yesterday,
Yeah.
and I ended at 8:40.
See, and that's like, so he eats. You eat in the morning. Like his window, and technically your window is even smaller because you just eat 2 meals.
So yeah, I have 3 hours, 3-hour window
Yeah.
between 8:40 and 11:40. So whatever I need to eat, I'm gonna pack it in that within those 3 hours.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though. What you consume is so much important
Exactly.
within that window. Like you want to consume very nutritious
Yes.
food that's packed, like very
You can't like
nutrient
binge.
dense.
Yeah, you can't binge like.
You can't binge and just eat
So have 8 hours of what eating, whatever the. No, that's
No,
not.
no.
I mean, just like anything else. I think what intermittent for us fasting, what it is, it's a tool for
Yeah.
whatever. It's a good tool to partner to pair up with whatever diet that you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, like so. I mean, and again, it could be multiple diets, or you're putting a diet plan together yourself. Intermittent fasting is a tool that you could include into that to help
Yeah.
help with. I know that I know when I used to train before, it's kind of interesting because you have to change your way of thought. Because I know I went through that training where I was eating something, an ounce of something almost every 2 hours, right? And that was like, people like, well, at the time I was working from home, so obviously it was like, okay, I could do that. I was like eating 2 hours every 2 hours, but that was like, I mean, it was cool, but like now I'm all like it just, I was not happy.
You really don't need that. For me,
Yeah,
now
you
that I'm
don't.
on this regimen,
Exactly.
it's like I don't really
Need to eat that much.
Like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
basically, I spend my whole day fucking eating. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like I said, I really only now that I'm at that level, like
Yeah.
my body can function with just 2 meals.
Yes, exactly.
And then as you fast, and then when you eat, you can't eat as much as you do, and you
Yeah.
get full faster.
Yeah, and then because then your body is turning around and actually processing, what it's processing, again like stuff that we've been talking about in the video that you probably see.
Yeah.
That you would probably see that you probably already saw either before this, but like your body actually is healing. It takes its time to heal.
Exactly, especially your stomach.
Yes.
You're giving your digestive system a break. Cause think
Yes.
about it. You're constantly eating. You're constantly eating every 2 fucking hours.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't really get a break. Your digestive system, in particular,
Yeah.
doesn't get a break. So what fasting does is like you're basically hitting a time off for your stomach and say, hey, I'm gonna give you some rest time.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take a break.
Yeah. And it's not for everybody. But if you are looking for a tool that would probably, and for me, I've been doing it for a while. I can't remember how. It's been years.
Yeah.
But then for me, I always look to now. To me, it's just a daily thing now. Like it's to the point where I'm gonna probably start using the app, which he's gonna probably tell you soon.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now.
But like I've gotten to the point where I knew, oh okay, I ate this that, I know when to eat the next day. But now I'm starting to get to the point where I'm forgetting what time I ate the last thing. So I want to start using this app. But through the years, for me it was something so easy to get if I needed to get back into training or get back into fixing my diet. For me, intermittent fasting was like so easy for me to get into it and at least start something, so then I could, build from there. So that's, for me, that's how it's been working for me.
Yeah.
And I love it. And so like that's why I was happy that when you guys started to get into it, and I was like, okay, cool. And now I get to know about these stuff.
All right, so this is how I use this app. It's called Zero, Zero. My brother actually told me about this app. So it looks like this. And I'll put it to the camera so y'all can see. So as you can see right now, I clocked in my time at 5:30 this afternoon. So that was the last meal I ate. So as soon as I finished, boom, clocked in my time. So my fasting, they can keep track of my fasting time.
Yeah.
So the next time I'll eat is, so I'm doing a 16-8 right now. So
Yeah,
I'm doing
because you can
16 hours.
fluctuate. Yeah.
Today I had an 8-hour window. Because this whole week this whole week I've been doing 21 hours. So today, usually a weekend I'll do like a 16-8.
16. And that's the cool thing about this. You could, once you get the hang of it, and you get to know got your diet right, and you got stuff like that, you could do like, okay, on the weekends I'll be more lenient, and I could give myself a bigger window to eat.
Yeah, bigger window to eat.
Yeah, and it's like, and that's awesome.
And then you'll come to find out that you really don't need that bigger window, so you may still only eat.
Yeah, because your body's got, like you said,
meals.
Exactly. Even though it's a bigger window, you're still probably eating just 2 meals. It may be a little bit more than what you probably ate in the week, but it's still only 2 meals.
Yeah.
But your body's already programmed to say, oh, I don't need to eat that much. Like, I'm actually functioning. I'm actually still able to do what I'm able to do. And I think, I guess maybe we could start talking into the benefits of what our benefits from doing intermittent fasting is. Like, really, when people think that you don't have energy when you're not eating at that time, but it's actually, no, you actually do have
It's
that
the
energy.
opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite. Like, it's crazy. Even my sleeping habits, I don't know, when I realized, like, oh, like, I could still go through a whole day and I maybe only had like maybe a 6 hour, maybe 5 hour sleep the night before, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna have. But we train in the morning. We wake up.
Yeah,
we
we
actually
wake up in the morning,
like 5
yeah.
o'clock. And that's another
in the morning.
benefit too that I know we're gonna talk about too. Is like, people think that, oh, you need to have something in your stomach to work out, and it's actually like, no, that's probably the best time for us.
Cause like me, I've been having I don't remember, like, when was the last time I had where I ate before I worked out? Cause I would do that before, and I don't like burping while I'm fucking working out. That's just nasty as fuck. I
don't feel like you get the best out of your workout if you. For me, I know for you, like, it's like I'm just feeling heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, dude, that was alright workout.
So to be honest, like, all my workouts now are fasted.
Yeah.
And then because I like I said, I work out at 5 in the morning, so I do 5, I do like an hour, 20 minutes of workout, of training, and then when I come home, I'll meditate, and then I'll do journaling.
Yeah.
That's like my routine now.
Yeah.
And then I'll log in for work, and then on my first break, like my first lunch, like my first break, it's like around 9:15.
Yeah.
That's when I'll break my fast, and that's when I'll have my smoothie.
Yes.
I
No,
put-
talk about that. When you break your fast.
When I break my fast, so I'm gonna talk about that, how to break your fast, and then we'll kind of jump into like the health benefits of it.
Yeah.
So like the way you're supposed to break your fast is you want to eat something high in sugar. But I'm not saying that you can't eat none of that bullshit.
They're like, yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
So you want to eat, like, go for a banana, go for like a smoothie, something very high in sugar, just to get your glucose spiked up. So then basically when that happens is you're basically telling your body, your stomach, like, hey, I'm about to feed you. I need you to get working again.
Yes.
And it's basically almost like you're warming your body and your stomach up.
And drink a lot of
water. This is
helps.
your fucking best friend. When you're fasting, you want to constantly be drinking a lot of water. You want to
Get those
exact minerals, electrolytes. I drink alkaline water.
Yes.
For me, I fucks with alkaline water all day.
Yeah.
So you want to drink a lot of water when you're fasting. You want to intake salts, shit like that. So most importantly, you want to break it with like I said, you want to break your fast with something.
Yeah.
You don't want to go straight for something solid to break your fast, because
You'll fuck up your
you
digestive system.
you may upset your stomach.
Yeah.
You may feel a little off if you do that. Like I said, like I usually do it with the smoothie.
Yeah.
I'll do like a protein shake. I usually put banana, I'll put almond milk, I'll put a couple dates in there. I'll put almond butter, I'll put cinnamon, and then I've been starting to use what's it called? Lion's mane mushroom.
Oh, lime mushroom. Yeah.
I got that powder and started using that, because
Yeah.
that actually helps regulate your mood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, a lot of people that you have that, like.
as we were saying, so that's how I usually break my fast, is with that smoothie.
It's so crazy because, like, for years when I've been doing it, I wouldn't when I would break my fast, I would obviously eat something solid, and it wasn't until when I learned that, and it was something that I was again just like because this intermittent fasting, just like everything else, like as time goes, people are starting to like do more research about it, and then so that's when I read it was like, oh, I've been breaking my fast all wrong, like, and so like that's when I started to be like, oh, when I break it, I just start cutting up fruit. That's when you'll see me in the break room when we used to work together. I'll be up in there cutting up fruit, and then because I knew I was about to break my fast, and then and so that's how I was like, oh shoot, and then it's like it made so much sense.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, duh, like, oh yeah, because your body is like, your stomach is like, it has not had eaten anything obviously for whatever 16, 18, 20 hours, and then you're just like stuffing it with. You know, you're not preparing your stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what like, you know, when you come out of any kind of fast, like you need to get, and so like even for me, like in the morning, I drink a lot of like.
It's like you put your body to shock.
Yeah.
And I know like especially if you do like these long periods of fast.
Yeah.
Like they slowly ease you back into eating. Like
yes.
everything that they feed you first is like fucking is
Yeah.
either they juice it or a smoothie.
Because you're gonna.
They don't fucking straight go to, and then after that, after they do that, they like they'll slowly give you like
Add into
soup,
it, yeah.
or they'll give you like veggies, something that's easily digestible.
Right.
But
The benefits, yeah.
so now I want to go into like the benefits. Like one of them, what a lot of people don't know is actually fasting helps with sleeping.
Yes.
Like even though you do put your body when you're fasting, you're actually putting your body in a fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
Okay, but even though regardless of the fact that you put your body in a fight or flight mode, because your body temperature is lowered, you actually get better sleep. You get better sleep in cool temperature.
Yeah.
When you eat, you actually raise your body temperature,
Yeah.
which affects your sleep.
Yeah. And then you fall asleep, and then it just.
You can. Another thing for me too, benefits is with weight management. Like it's
Yeah.
helped me manage my weight a lot more.
Yeah. That's why I always jump to it. That's exactly why, if whatever reason that I just wasn't into working out or even worrying about what I was eating, and then I'm like, I like for myself, I know my body, and so that I know like, oh, I need to figure it out. That's why I always jump back to intermittent fasting, because it'll help me regulate my intake. Obviously, like it just gets me into the mentality, and then gets me on top of, okay, I need to get back into the windows.
Yeah.
So like it's always, that's why I love it, because it just always got me back into it. It does regulate, even if I didn't do it for like maybe a couple days or so, whatever. Maybe sometimes I was like, oh crap, I haven't been paying attention all week, which actually hasn't been. Like I've been able to like think about it, but at least you could jump right back into it. It's something that for me, it's something that's easy to get back into and just get right back on top of it. Because if you are really want to discipline yourself, and this is not something that you're starving yourself. I don't want people to. I've known that when I brought it up to certain people, like when they're like, oh, what do you do? Or like, how's it? And I tell them, they're like, oh, so you're just starving yourself? And I was like, whoa. I'm not starving myself. I'm eating. I just eat at a certain window, and that's starving myself is basically if I was not eating at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And so just it's not something. Don't think when you hear this, you're like, oh. Cool, then I'm just not eating. Like, no, we actually do need to eat. It's just what we intake,
Yeah, we intake, and like, I feel like I'm more conscious and I'm more aware. I feel like I'm at the driver's seat of when I eat.
Yes.
Because I'm telling my body, it's like, I will urinate at this time,
yes.
and stopping at this time.
And some of the crazy things that I realize, it's so crazy that when I know when it's almost time for me to break my fast, and then I get there, and then I'm like, and then you actually ask yourself, you're like, wait, do I need to eat because I feel like because oh my gosh, I need to break my fast? If you get to that point, like I know I've gotten and I'm like, oh no, I could probably go another hour or two. Like that's crazy, because you're like, oh, I'm taking control of when I'm eating.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and that's for me, like I don't know, I geek out when I get to that point, and I'm like, oh, I could eat another hour, and then also like maybe you're into other things, you still have the energy to doing stuff, and you're just like, oh, it's been a couple hours, okay, I'll eat now. I'll eat my smoothie or whatever you're gonna break your fast with, and so that's also a cool. For me, like that's a cool benefit that it's like, oh, okay, you do take control of it. And then when you stop and think about, like we talked about in the previous video, is your relationship with it.
Yeah.
You're like, you question, do I really need to eat this right now?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not that it's not, like, do I need to really have my smoothie right now? Because I think I'm good. Oh, okay. Just put it away and stuff like that. So that's, for me, that's something cool. Like,
Yeah.
because that's where, again, like we were talking about in the previous video, is our relationship with it, you know? Is we're we're literally like talking it out, and you're conscious, and you're like, oh yeah, like you pay attention to your body, like, oh, I'm good, you know, like I'm not gonna about to like pass out or anything or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
and I feel like one of the other benefits of it too with fasting is clarity.
Yes.
Clarity.
dude.
Especially how you feel emotionally. Like
Yeah.
certain things start coming up
Yes.
that you probably wouldn't get.
Yeah, if you were intaking certain things, and also, you know, I mean, and or unless because even for me, like eating, I know you probably have done this too, where if you're like getting ready to prepare food every 2 hours, you're just like, you know what I'm saying? Like your mind is like, I know for a fact, if I wasn't working from home, I mean, that wouldn't have worked out. You know what I'm saying? But then I was constantly like, oh, the alarm. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes away from what you really need to be doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so yeah, I think that's the clarity part is so cool, because then also, which I know that you said, you know, when I first heard about fasting, or we heard about fasting was spiritual. It also, the benefit is that too.
Yeah.
Clarity, and then you also, like for us, like we could dive in deeper into understanding things, you know, that we want to become better, higher, like you said in the previous video, higher vibration. You know, that's, I feel like intermittent fasting also helps, you know, for us.
Yeah.
That, like, I mean, I think, and actually, to be honest, I think that's probably when I started to work on my inner self, was probably that time when I learned about intermittent fasting. Now that I'm kind of like going back and thinking, because, like, I think it was part of my journey.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and which, yeah, just kind of like had an aha moment. So
Yeah.
and then look at, you know, where we are now. Like, it just, I don't know, you just could process stuff like that so much clearer.
Yeah,
you know?
and another thing too that I feel like for me it's a cop out. And I'm not judging people who do this, but I'm just saying for me is like, you know, when people, when they're mad and they blame, oh, it's because I'm hungry.
Oh,
I'm
angry.
angry. And like, to me it's like, are you really gonna blame?
Yeah.
You're gonna let something like that, like
Yes.
being hungry, affect your mood
Yeah.
to that point? And like for me, I was like, that didn't sit well for me. And I was, you know what? And like that's one thing I wanted to challenge myself.
Yeah.
And one of my motivations, one of them was like, you know what? I want to do this for fasting. It's like I don't want my emotions to be dictated on
By
something
food,
based
yeah.
on food. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I'm really gonna fucking be let that affect my mood. Like me
Yes.
being, you know, mad or whatever,
Yes.
getting angry because I didn't fucking eat.
And that's a really good point, because then I know a lot of us are, I guess, emotional eaters, and I can say like that's for me prior, like, yeah, it's really interesting. Like when I would go through things, like I wouldn't eat if I was going. If I would eat if I was like maybe nervous or in that kind of like anxious kind of thing, but I wouldn't eat if I was going through something traumatic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that's everybody. And when you do that, like you have to really, pay attention, because then that's really letting you know, dictating you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So like to be more conscious of it, I, to be honest, haven't used that. Now that you brought that up, I'm like, oh yeah, because I used to always say like, oh man, I'm an emotional eater. Like, you know, I could, if I'm just anxious, I'd just be like, just put whatever in my mouth. Not whatever. I was like, let me just catch that before you're closer to me. But yeah, like that's a good point, because that's another part of having your relationship, right?
Yeah.
With your food, it's like, don't let it dictate. Don't be like, I'm hangry. Like,
exactly.
It's like, I mean, like they need something, but I mean, like it's cute to say it to some. Like I know I've said it, but I'm just like, I'm not really hangry. I'm just saying it because it's cute. But I know there's people that actually like. That will, I mean, I've had people come at, like, just be in a funky ass mood, and they're just
like, the question is, are you really mad because you fucking didn't eat, or is there something really
underlining?
You're just blaming it because
you're
using that as an excuse.
Because even if you eat something, you're still being fucked up. So so we need to figure that out. Yeah. So and that's a whole other episode.
Yeah,
to be
that's one
honest.
other-
but it's something to be conscious of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Conscious of. Another thing too, it's good for your stomach.
Dude.
And like as we mentioned before, it's like you basically give your digestive system a break.
A break,
You know what I'm saying? And like
It's a muscle. It's a muscle. Just so like, if it, like anything else that you have to take care of, make up. I mean, it's actually a more important muscle, to be honest. It's probably the most important muscle.
Yeah.
And so with that, if you think of it like if it's constantly running, like anything, if it's a computer's constantly running, it's something. A video, like something electronic is constantly running, it's gonna run down.
Yeah.
It's gonna start breaking down. It's gonna start, not working right. It's gonna start slowing down. And so if you think of your stomach like that, if you're constantly just throwing shit in it, and it's like the wrong shit, and then you're like wondering why you feel this way, or you're wondering why your emotions are a certain way, you're wondering why, I'm not losing what I'm losing, or whatever. What the fuck you're putting in your stomach, and you're not letting it, and then on top of that, you're not letting it calm the fuck down, just like how we always, I think we said it in a few videos, like that's really where your emotion, like where that starts, is your stomach. If you read up about chakra, if you're into chakra, and I know that the people that know, they know that that's where the fire is, and that's where everything is really tied to. People think it's here, it's here. So if you're putting in shit, you're gonna be shit,
Damn,
and not the right shit, though. Not like when the shit. You ain't gonna be the shit. You take shit, you're gonna be shit. You're gonna be shit. Look. But you get the point.
You get the point.
Yeah.
And another thing too is like you basically allow your cells to regenerate and rebuild themselves when you're fasting. Like I said, there's a lot of health benefits to it, man. Like
a lot of stuff that we didn't even we've been taught different, like the opposite,
Yeah.
Because we've done diets, and we've done like working out stuff and everything, and we've always been told. I remember that no one never. It was always like you need something in your stomach before you work out. Like do I? Like now it's like it's nothing to us. Now we work out so early in the morning anyway, so it's during our fasting. So, and then even like I said in previous, like I'm a dancer, so. Like if I know I'm gonna have a show, or if we're gonna have a show, like I won't
You feel lighter, bro. Like I feel like you feel lighter.
And on top of that, I'm like naked. I'm almost naked, so like I'm not trying to walk around like I just had a fucking burger, well, I mean I had a hamburger.
Take a step
Yeah,
forward.
exactly. I'm all like I might so like that part is where we had to retrain. We had to put in the work and the research and like the discipline to switch our mindset to because of what we've been taught, or we thought we knew.
And I feel like one of the greatest skills that I think I acquired through like this whole fasting process is mental strength.
Yeah.
Discipline, because it takes a lot of mental strength for you
to not eat, because we've been told like to eat all the time. Like 3
exactly,
and then snack, and then and then whatever else in between those. We've been like that's what we all been programmed. That's what the society programs us. I mean, we have commercials every 2 seconds about it.
About food.
About food. It's like
a grocery store every corner.
Exactly. So like to be able to have that discipline to where you could drive down the street or drive past something, or not stop to whatever, like to eat or whatever, like that's when knowing that you don't need to. Like that's a good. I mean, that's a good accomplishment.
Yeah, that's for me. It's a very good accomplishment. But with that being said, there's something else I wanted to mention about fasting.
What's the app again? Zero.
Oh, yeah, it's called Zero.
Okay.
Zero, and I wanted to discuss a little bit in regards to this app. So, like I said, it tracks. Then it tells you, how many fasts you've done up to whatever point you check on it, and then also that they have like different challenges that you can do.
Yeah.
And like for me, that kind of motivates me more. I want to try this challenge. Like, for example, I just completed a 200-hour challenge fast. So
I feel like
I
want to do that now because I feel like it's gonna make me a better intermittent faster.
There's a challenge where you have it challenges you to do 2 36-hour fasts. So that's the one I want to do next. 2 36-hour fasts. which is like
So I'm gonna get onto it.
they
I
have-
haven't. They've been doing it, and I have not hopped on it, and now I want to because now I'm like that could be again like me. Even though I know I've been doing it for years, but that's something that I feel like. I mean, today when you were telling me, I was like, dude, that's something that would help me become a better and the challenges and you know what I'm saying, like it's
cool,
just
you know what I'm saying?
it's cool. And then sometimes I forget. Like I was telling him, I would forget when it was my last meal. I was like, did I eat at 7 or 6? Or was it the other day? You know, like I
Yeah.
feel like that also is gonna help me keep track. Cause I won't remember like you know if I do it like that where I didn't clock out or clock in, you know, and I feel like that would probably help me remember. Obviously,
And,
next time.
and to be honest too, now like when I do it, it's like more exciting.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Well, I
dude,
see it.
did
I'm looking at it. It's like, what is that? Like I'm all like, okay, reading it and it's telling you, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I dig it.
It's cool. Like for me, like now when I eat, it's more fun. I can't wait. I'm excited. Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, dude, I gotta eat in a little bit.
Because
like,
food
I'm
is,
fucking
as I say,
excited,
it's a benefit and it's a reward when it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, because we take it for granted.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
do, we do.
We're just like, we could go and just grab whatever the fuck
we take it for granted, or we eat mindlessly.
mindlessly.
Yeah.
And we, you know, and just the way we grew up and the types of families we have, that's like common, you know?
Yeah.
And we, you know, and if this is we're speaking this because this is the new year, and you know, and everyone has that always is like let's get healthier and getting fit and stuff like that. So this is a perfect, I mean, tool to use.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worked for both of us.
Yeah,
you know?
and if you guys have any questions or you
Yes.
guys need guidance in regards to fasting, you can reach out to either one of us or you can DM the show.
Or even if you have information that you may have
Missed,
missed or left out, or even dude, like we're not like professionals,
Exactly.
or whatever you want to call them, but we're just speaking on what we know, what we experience. Which like everything else that we talk about on our channel is we're only speaking from experiences, not from we're not freaking out there being getting paid for this.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys can go ahead and any information you want to add on to what we're saying on top of that, you can drop a comment in the episode's
Comment section.
comment section. But anyways, now that we're on the topic of speaking about fasting, for me is more than just fasting when it comes to food.
Yes.
Now we're gonna get a little bit deeper since we are some deep motherfuckers.
Yes.
Is for me fasting is more of like a mentality.
Yeah. Yes.
Not just, it doesn't just come down to food. It comes down to like what are areas in your life that you can fast.
Yes.
Like when it comes to like what are areas like are you what areas are you like when it comes down to your brain? What are you feeding your brain and your
off? Yeah.
that you need to stop
Yeah.
consuming
Yeah.
that you can fast from? Are you consuming too much in social media? Are you on too much
Yes.
social media? Or you know what? I'm gonna fast on social media.
Because he fasts for social media.
Yeah, so I do a detox. So I actually haven't been on for I think this whole week. I think I logged on the other day very quickly and then I signed out. I was like, cool. I don't need to be on this. So I signed out right away. So,
I admire that about him too. That's
So me is I've learned to know when to turn that switch off,
Yeah.
and I can do that. I'm like, you know what? I don't need it. I'm gonna turn it off,
Yeah.
and I can detach myself. But like I said, there's fasting, other things that you can
like toxic people, maybe toxic
exactly.
friendships.
Toxic relationships. There's certain people like, hey, I need to distance myself, time out from myself from that person.
Yeah. Or even what you're taking as in like what you're watching.
Exactly. TV.
Like if you're watching too much Ratchet TV, because I know like I rarely watch TV. I think you rarely watch TV too. But like I know back when I did watch a lot of it, and then I did watch a lot of Ratchet TV. I was like, especially the kind of Ratchet TV I was watching, I was like, dude, why? It was getting me angry, and I'm like, why am I angry? You know what I'm saying? That's when you start picking up. And so if you are those people that are very like in taking those kind of content and pay attention to your mood.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I again, so for example, like I don't even think they're on the show anymore, so that's cool. I guess I could bring it up. It's Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
At the time, like that was something my ex-husband used to love to watch, and so we would sit there, have dinner, and we'll like watch it, and it would be like, religiously, but then we'll get consumed into like who's arguing, and then why, like who was right, and then the next thing you know, just like but we pick that energy up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then now I'm all like, now we back girls up. You
Yeah.
know, like pay attention to that because it's like that's what I was kind of like I can't watch this no more because it's the same thing. First of all, it's the same drama. Why am I? It's like mindless.
It's like transferable energy that gets transferred to you that you
Yes.
then play out in your own
And then
life.
I'm gonna put out because
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna put that kind of energy out, or that's how I'm gonna react to whoever. Like, what the fuck, you know? Like, pay attention to that because, like, you know, hey, it's time to fast from watching reality TV or just stop watching it. Period at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So that I feel like that's a good point because you know again we're all quarantined, so people are starting to intake even what paying attention to your kids. Like I live with my niece and nephew.
Yeah.
You know, like we always make sure like they only have a certain time on their tablets, and then whatever they're watching, whatever they're intaking, because you know you have to be careful what they're intaking.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something that's like that's a timeout. You know, even video games. Because sometimes you gotta time out. So
Time on shit, yeah.
those are that's perfect that you brought that up because it's not just food, it's and health. It's
Every area of your
Yeah.
life that you can fast, that you can practice fasting,
Fasting, yeah.
not just when it comes down to food.
Yeah.
You know, with that being said, thank you guys so much
Yes.
for tuning in to another episode of Only Matter of Time. We thought we hit you with 2 episodes. You know, it is the new year, and if you know, been some time since we recorded.
Yeah.
We're supposed to put these 2 videos out before.
Yeah.
But we had some technical difficulties, but you know, the
It's
universe
cool. People saying
always provides,
Yes.
and you know, things happen as they should.
yeah.
And we're bringing this to you now.
Yes.
But with that being said, like I said, hope you all have a blessed start to your new year.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to bring into fruition,
Yes.
may it be aligned to who you are,
Yes.
to your purpose, and that not just that, but I really do hope that you add value, not just to what you want to do, but most importantly to those people around you, those people you encounter. I feel like that's when you get more out of it,
Yeah.
and you'll come to realize that when you just do things for yourself, that just isn't enough.
Yeah.
It's like for me, that's like one of the things that I always put in my journal, and I always constantly reminding myself. It's like one of the things that I focus on is how can I add value to someone else and to those people that I encounter and those people in my circle.
Which I think this has happened. This is what this is. Yeah. I think this is part of it. Like
This is part of it,
This
yeah,
is like a
exactly.
big part of it.
Yeah.
I think this is doing this. It's gonna stem out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. We're also looking for even other opportunities to just collaborate with other like-minded.
Exactly.
Or not even like-minded, but even people that we're also open to even people that want to challenge. You know.
Exactly, like
we are so open to that. You know.
Yeah, if you to be honest, I'm willing to do even for people who may not agree,
Yeah.
with some of the things we said. Like I'm willing to do a show with you guys. Like I really,
Yes.
because I feel like
Because we learn.
you collaborate,
Yes.
we learn from each other
Yes.
when you don't see on the same level.
Yes.
Because you may see it from a different perspective I've never thought of,
Right.
and
And you see vice versa.
it goes vice
Yeah.
versa. So
When
I
you
feel
come
like
to the table open like that.
open like that,
Yeah.
exactly.
If you want some fight, that's a whole other show. But that's not what we're about. you
Yeah,
know?
but we're all about peace, love,
Yeah.
sharing whatever we know with everyone, But yeah, so that's what I really wanted to share with y'all. So we're super excited for this new year, another year, sharing our experiences with you all. And like I said, let's make this year a really dope one, And I know a lot of people wanted to say 2020 was shit. But to be honest,
Yeah.
for me,
It was
it was probably one of my best years.
Yeah, and I think people are realizing that. I think maybe certain things outside of us were shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like certain obviously
Certain
out the world events that were happening.
Yeah.
we weren't obviously
It was
a disaster.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's the but. However, I'm coming to realize that I'm able to achieve a certain I'm able to vibrate down a certain energy level where I'm not gonna allow that
Right.
to impact the way
Yes.
I'm like my perspective,
Yeah.
my outlook on life. That
Yes.
that isn't gonna change.
In our
because of
community,
what's in
like
community.
our community,
And
yeah.
I feel like that's what it's all about, man. It's perspective. Perspective.
And really low key, like everyone that I spoke, like most of the people that I spoken to about last year, a lot of them were like, yeah, it was crappy, but then it forced everybody to sit back and work on things,
Exactly.
to personal inner things.
Yeah.
It forced them to because we couldn't go anywhere. So I guess in that part, like I feel like it was one of the best years. Like I again, like you said, like it just kind of. It just gave when the world is shut down and all you have time to is to figure out or yourself
Yeah.
or each whoever your family or whatever. It just that part is the good part. Like, I felt like it was really good. You know?
That's good, man. Like
Yeah.
for me, this is like I said, it was one of our best years so far. But like I said, that may not be the experience for everyone else.
Yeah.
But you know,
But think about it though. You know what I'm saying?
perspective. Like I said, perspective. That's what I want you to keep in mind, and I want that word. If you struggle with last year,
Yeah.
think about perspective. How could it last year have been differently?
Right.
You know, I know, we thought like last year the world was gonna fucking burn down, but it didn't. We're still here.
Yeah.
And if you want, like I'm telling you, if you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're waiting for the perfect, weather, whatever the fuck
Whatever
the
it is,
occasion
yeah.
is, it's never gonna be right.
Yeah.
The time is never gonna be right. There's something always going to be happening that's gonna keep you from doing what you're doing. You just gotta fucking go after it, regardless of what's happening. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of the fucking storm, you just gotta dive into that shit. Boom. Go into the eye of the storm, and get shit done. Because otherwise, you're never gonna get shit done if you're waiting.
You're just waiting for exactly.